Hello, beautiful people. Good Thursday afternoon. My name is Casey Halpern, and as always, I'm thrilled to be joined by my colleague, my friend, my co host, Ryan Borman. Ryan, how the hell are we?
What's going on, Casey? I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, besides the fact I was just stressing for the last 5 minutes when I couldn't get into our software host. So that was fun, but we're here. We're ready to rock and roll.
We almost had technical difficulties 2 weeks in a row. Last week it was my mic. This week, you can't even get into the damn stream.
Would have not been a hot start for us, but we started out on time and we're ready to go. It's been a slow news day. I'm not sure if anyone has realized nothing is going on in the world of sports at all pertaining to gambling or anything of that sort. But yeah, speaking of that, we are excited to make everyone some money today. Talk some Thursday night football, week 8 matchups. But before we do, any thoughts on what's going on in the world of the NBA? It's off to a hot start.
I mean, this all the details are just coming out, and it's actually insane. I just read through the Joe Pompa thread, um, with all the details that the FBI, I guess, has released so far, and it's crazy. What I'm waiting to see for everything else to come out, but it's nuts to start out right now.
Yes, it is crazy. I do think there's obviously people obviously are just jumping the gun and blaming sports betting legalization on everything. And I think it's important for people to not conflate that Chauncey Billups was arrested for something entirely different from Terry Rozier and not pertaining to actually sports betting. So I saw a lot of people making Chauncey Billups out to be like Pete Rose, right? Like betting on the team he's coaching or against. That's not the case. It seems like he was just playing in some very illegal poker games with some really bad folks and kind of got in those crosshairs. Terry Rozier, it's not really a surprise. This has been going on for quite a bit now. So it seems like the rivers meet in the road there. But yeah, look, it's obviously never good, right? No one wants to see people get arrested. Obviously, no one wants to see people kind of fall victim to addiction, stuff like that. But and obviously being a predator in a sense. But I think that it is important to caveat that the media rush to the narrative like that legalizing sports betting has led to all of this type of behavior. That's absolutely bullshit. This has been around forever, right? In black markets, and the honest truth is that legalizing sports betting created a world where the cheaters are easily found and will be punished and reprimanded. Without obviously legalizing sports betting, that they would probably be still out there, right, running amok, probably sabotaging themselves for either their friends, family, or whatever, right? Like that's just the honest truth. The technologies that these sports books and the guardrails that are in place are superior. Ryan and I know that for a fact, as we've been on the inside. And anyone who doubts that, you could come have a go have a debate with the cloud. Um, but I didn't see Joe Pomp's thread. What else was in there?
He put out like pretty much like 19 different points, just saying like how Porter or Damon Jones was involved in both the poker and the sports gambling. Chauncey was just involved in poker. Rozier was involved in the sports betting. It says Porter was threatened to participate in it all because of his gambling debts. He kind of got. I don't know if
Wait,
it says specifically that it got coerced, but
I totally forgot. I have the capability of sharing his actual his thread
yeah,
right here.
it's got everything. Why it pretty much breaks down everything that's going down. It's called Operation Nothing But Net.
I saw that. Nothing but bet. Nothing but bet.
Oh, nothing but bets. So
That's good.
I mean, it just kind of breaks down it gives you like a synopsis of what the alleged everything allegedly going on right now is. So yeah, you can see Porter says they counted the money with him at his house afterwards, and that's how I yeah, it's something.
Jeez.
4 other teams were investigated: Charlotte, Lakers, Raptors.
See, this is also the thing. This is like the biggest red flag possible for these companies to just find how easily like something is up, right? Like the fact that you're probably making an account, right? You're one of your first wagers is probably on Terry Rozier under prop. That just is a siren going off inside a trading room. Um, and then obviously with him leaving the game after 9 minutes, they're going to obviously report that to whatever integrity compliance team they're working with. It's just crazy. The FBI says a former rapper was threatened to participate because of his gambling bets. That's been known. Teams that were bet on in sports gambling: Hornets, Blazers, Lakers, and Raptors. The rigged poker games. How did they rig these games? I haven't really read into this. Do you know?
Dude, it said it's insane. They have look, you can go to the 13 point there, like at 13
Oh,
point 13 down there.
I guess
You
I should.
literally have like
I guess I should.
yeah, keep it's like a rigged shuffler. They said they have X-ray poker tables, so you could see the cards underneath, like everyone's hand underneath, so that way they could use it against them. See contact lenses and glasses that could like there's little markings on the cards that you could tell what the cards were based on the marking if you had the specific
So
glasses. It looked insane.
So they were my understanding, and obviously I don't know what's going on. The people who created these games basically were like using Chauncey kind of as like a chess piece to reel other big players in, and Chauncey
Correct.
probably right because of his status and obviously his fame. He's a basketball Hall of Famer. People want to play at the same poker table as him, so they probably roped in some high net worth individuals, if I had to guess. And obviously they let Chauncey know like they were winning these games pretty easily.
Mhm.
Due to the fact that they obviously had this information. That's how I'm reading at the moment.
Yeah, I think I'm curious to see like how what comes out about like the specific involvement like obviously it just says here Chauncey was involved. It doesn't say like he was getting a cut of this, he was
Right.
extorted, he was willingly participating. I mean, who
It's not
we're
really
not going to
clear
know until
there.
this awesome. What's up?
That it's not really clear there. That was just my assumption. Let me make that very clear. I have no idea what was actually going on, but
Yeah, I don't it doesn't specifically say that it says it does say that they use them to
right.
uh, lure the big players in, but I don't know. I'm just guessing. Like I don't know what the details are of like is like how specifically Chauncey was involved. Like were they like it says a couple things they did some robbing at gunpoint, yada yada yada. Was were they just like holding Chauncey hostage, or is this like he was like here come to me, I'm going to take 15% of all these winnings and we're going to make a big buck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, obviously, no one ever wants to see this happen. It ruins the integrity of the sport. That being said, they would never find these perpetrators without the legalization of sports betting. And I'm pretty adamant about that. The technology and guardrails in place are superior, and it's very easy to spot this stuff. Especially when you're doing things like placing $200,000 on under props for Terry Rozier, and he just coincidentally leaves the game in 9 minutes. So we'll see how it shakes out. Sucks to obviously see. It's definitely a cloud in the NBA sky, especially this happening the morning after they tip off is wild. Especially yesterday, I believe it was yesterday. Adam Sandler, Commissioner Adam Silver said there needs to be more regulation on the Pat McAfee show. So
Yeah, he said he wanted to get like cut back on props and stuff too, like what they're didn't he?
yeah, something along those lines. Which look, I totally understand that. I, I get it, but I think when you're kind of opening up that can of worms, where does it stop? You know, the unfortunate reality is there's probably no perfect solution. But
Yeah.
look, this has been around for decades, right? Just go look at the Black Chicago White Sox and what they used to do. Go look at like Tulane. I believe it was a Tulane basketball team in the 1970s or something. There are plenty of examples where people are rigging games or obviously shaving points, or in this case, shaving their own points, right? And leaving. It's been around for a while, but obviously the legalization of sports gambling has made this stuff a lot easier to catch. Um, so I think people need to stop running with that very, very tired media narrative that sports gambling is the bane of existence. This stuff would not happen without the legalization of sports betting and the leagues getting into bed with some of these partners, which, by the way, I don't disagree with. The leagues, how they are embedded with these partners is really ridiculous, honestly, with how and at the scale they are. But moving on, let's show the folks how not to really gamble, but how to match bet so they win money regardless. How about that?
That works. We'll get off the gambling ring case here.
We're not detectives. We're just making assumptions here and giving our thoughts. But okay, so I didn't see that many boost or promos out currently. However, it would be helpful if I shared my screen. Actually, give me a second. I did see a 30% boost on FanDuel Sportsbook for tonight's Thursday night football game between the Chargers and the Vikings. It's a 30% boost. I have a max wager of $100 tonight, which is strange, but I ain't complaining. It's on Thursday night football for tonight. And what we're going to want to do, obviously, is to NFL, make the differences, Chargers, and boom, you could walk away with an easy $13. You don't even have to watch the game. Go buy yourself a Chipotle bowl. You're placing the boost on the Vikings money line over at FanDuel Sportsbook. You're placing a coinciding bet over on the Chargers money line at ESPN Bet. And bada bing, bada boom, you're walking away with $13. You just won yourself a free Chipotle bowl. I think they're still $13 or something like that. Maybe you might not be able to. You might not be able to afford guac, but just an easy way to make some money tonight if you're into that sort of thing. Have you seen anything else out there?
The only other one that I'm seeing right now is FanDuel has their TD jackpot up, which I'm hopefully going to release a video after the stream too, on how you can take specifically advantage of that. But that's you can pop it up if you want to while we're on stream here, as well. But besides that, I have a SGP on DraftKings. They seems like they've shifted a little bit back to the SGP narrative. I'm hoping they come back to a couple of their good promos that they had at the beginning of the year, but this week it's looking a little slim at the current moment.
Yep. There's been a lot of basketball stuff, so there's been a lot of basketball mystery boost. I'll save the TD bonuses for your video because we'll let the public watch that on YouTube later today, and for the sake of time. But so a little birdie tells me that there's going to be a few new tools added here in the very near future. So keep an eye out on that for the folks watching at home. Some very valuable tools. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we're excited.
It's going to be great. The team is doing a killer job, and we're excited to release it to the public very soon. That being said, let's dive into tonight's game. Chargers, Vikings, still no J.J. McCarthy. He's out with a high ankle sprain, apparently. Who really knows? So we get Carson Wentz against Justin Herbert in Los Angeles. Carson Wentz is a undefeated 7-0 in his career on Thursday Night Football and 6-1 against the spread. Last I checked, the spread was 3. I took the Minnesota Vikings plus 3.5 earlier in the week. I could dive into why I did in a bit, but what do you like in this one? It's plus 3. It's plus 3.5 at Novig and BetMGM currently.
Yeah,
and
like,
DraftKings too.
Yeah, I think is it still on ESPN as well? I think it's shifted some places. 3.5 is where it's at. It's an interesting one. I did not take a bet on the actual spread of the game. I'm only going to be on some props potentially for tonight, but I'm not actually going to be on either side here. I don't really know what to pick to be honest with you. I don't have a strong opinion either which way. I'd probably lean the Chargers, but I don't feel strongly about it.
I don't blame you. I'm on the Vikings plus 3.5. Carson Wentz is a perfect 7-0 on Thursday Night Football in his career. Not that that's part of the reason why I'm on the Vikings, but it's a short week. The Chargers' offensive line is decimated by injuries. Minnesota has an incredible defensive coordinator, Brian Flores, who likes to get after the quarterback and loves to blitz. So I expect them to have their way with the Chargers up front. The Chargers have struggled as of late, losing 3 of their last 4. And most of them are way worse opponents than the Vikings. And look, I know the Vikings are a 500 team, but if you look under the hood, they're probably a lot better than their record indicates. They rank 6th in the NFL in net success rate. So as long as Carson Wentz cannot be an absolute moron with the football, which I know is asking a lot, give me the Vikings to cover plus 3.5. I'll take the field goal on the hook.
Hey, I mean, they easily can do it. Like you said, the Chargers offensive line is just still a mess, and they do not look like the team that they were week 1, 2, and 3 before they
No,
before they had the injuries.
they've gotten
Unfortunately, they look
absolutely
like they could be a
battered.
force. Yeah, it's insane.
It's tough, but look, football it's a game of attrition. It's like the last team standing, pretty much.
I know. It's nuts. Injuries crush teams, and they've just been getting hit and hit. I believe Haskins isn't playing again tonight, so I mean, we'll see how that bodes for Vidal. But
I got Kamani Vidal in the flex spot tonight. No, he's getting the call up.
I'm going against him in fantasy, unfortunately.
Even though my fantasy teams are both absolutely cooked. In one league, even though no one gives a crap about this, I'm 1-6. I have the 5th most points, but I have the most points allowed by like close to 200, which is astounding. So I'm 1-6.
Good. That's always good. Those are the times when you just like don't really want to play fantasy football anymore when you
Yeah,
have the bad luck and it just kind of kills your morale.
it's all good. Hopefully the Vikings plus 3.5 can pick it up a bit. But that being said, let's go into the Sunday slate. There's a lot of buys this week. 6 teams on a buy, which is kind of weird the way they kind of structure the buys. So a lot of crappy games, honestly. There's not much great. Like I think the Sunday night game is probably the best. Packers Steelers. Bears Ravens could be pretty good. Honestly, tonight's game should be good. And then Cowboys Broncos. But aside from that, it's not great.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels not playing in the Chiefs game really. Just they haven't been great, obviously either of recent, but like kind of kills that game too, where that was supposed to be probably a pretty fun matchup. But now the Chiefs are 12-point favorites. So and Chiefs has obviously looked great, and the Commanders haven't looked great. But with Jaden Daniels against Mahomes would have been a fun matchup.
Yep. Certainly would have been. But that being said, there is a massive talent gap right now between the two conferences, the AFC and the NFC. The NFC is just way better this season, and the numbers even show it. Like the NFC is 26-12 against the spread versus AFC teams this season. And I feel like every weekend I'm watching a matchup between these teams from these conferences. It's just an absolute thumping by the NFC. Or it's just kind of like last week where the Giants probably had no business going into Denver and covering +8. Obviously, they don't end up winning, but for the first 3 quarters, it was you were sitting there scratching your head like saying the Giants are up on who right now? But I also can attribute that one to obviously Denver coming all the way back from London the week prior. Without a bye week. But yeah, the NFC is a lot better than the AFC. It seems like the Chiefs might just waltz into the Super Bowl.
We'll see. They usually find a way. They usually find a way to do that anyway, even when the AFC is strong.
This is true. What's your chalk play week?
I like you just said, I don't really love the board this week either. It's kind of ugly. Like there is a lot of double digit favorites, so there's definitely a lot of survivor opportunities. I think you got like 4 or 5 spots that people are going to be on, so it's a matter of which one you're going to take. The one good thing about this week is we should get Lamar back playing football, so that should be a nice boost for the AFC, which I'm hopeful that he actually does play because their team is very clearly night and day when Lamar is on the field, and their offense is what I think the numbers is like averaging like 12 or 14 more points and a shit ton more offense when he's which makes sense, but it's crazy how many points Lamar is worth in these games comparatively to some of the other starting quarterbacks and backups and systems that they got there. But for my chalk play, I think this line's been bouncing actually back and forth. I think it opened at -1.5 for the Texans, and it went to the 49ers way. I think it's come back the Texans way. I'm going to take a stab at just the Texans money line. They're a slight favorite right now. I think you can get them for -115 on DraftKings. And yeah, that's my chalk pick of the week. It's an ugly one. The Texans haven't looked great. The 49ers have looked kind of good actually. I think we might get Brock Purdy back this week, but we'll see.
It's an interesting one because obviously the Texans have not looked great at all. The Texans are coming off a very short week in which they played at a very weird time for them, right? They played at 9:00, I believe, Central Time on Monday night. So it's a quick turnaround from them going from Seattle playing at 10:00 local time there at Pacific time on Monday night to turn around and now face Kyle Shanahan and that offense. I don't know. That's a tough one, but the Texans defense is good. The CJ Stroud in that offense, I don't know what's happened, but it doesn't look
without Nico. They're going to be without Nico Collins too. So
yep,
this is an ugly one for me.
Good week to pick up Jalen Noel on the Texans if you're
I
out there and need a streamer. But okay, you like the Texans.
I don't love the board, Casey. I'm going with a line that doesn't not that doesn't make sense, but it's one of those where it's bounced back and forth, and the Texans are favored for a reason, and it hasn't swung the 49ers way. So I'm gonna ride with the market here.
I don't disagree with you. The board is stinky. I honestly had some trouble looking at what favorite I liked, but I settled on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills laying a touchdown. I know they're on the road in Carolina. I know Carolina's been hot. I'm hoping this is a get right spot for Buffalo. Coming off a bye, I would be surprised if Josh Allen and the offense doesn't put up 35 plus. That being said, their defense might give up 200 plus yards on the ground to Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard because their rush defense is absolutely atrocious. But I don't know. I like the Bills in this one. Carolina's won 4 of the last 5 and 3 straight games. But during their 3-game win streak, they have yet to beat anyone by more than 1 score. I know Buffalo's defense is honestly just flat out bad, but I do not think Carolina has the firepower to hang with the Bills offense in what I think could potentially be a high-scoring day for the Buffalo O. So we'll see.
I like it. I mean, I won't be on that as a certified Bills hater, so I will be staying away. But I think we're getting Andy Dalton as well instead of Bryce Young.
Yeah, I know we're getting Andy Dalton, but I still don't look. I still don't think they can hang offensively. A 37-year-old red rifle Andy Dalton. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, the Bills are still one of those teams that if the offense and Josh Allen gets rolling, they can just boat race teams even when the defense isn't playing well. So could definitely see this week, them bouncing back and just kind of boat racing Carolina after Carolina has shockingly looked pretty good on this season and had some bright spots. So it does sort of seem like a nice letdown spot for Carolina and the Bills to kind of roll.
It does. We'll see what happens though. I don't love this pick. I'm going to be honest, but the board is disgusting. Just looking at the standings here, Carolina is on the outside looking in at the playoffs. The NFC is loaded. As I said earlier, remarkably enough, if the playoffs started today, the Chiefs would also be on the outside looking in as well, which is pretty funny.
Crazy.
But they started slow. Who's your underdog of the week? Not someone to pull the upset, but what underdog is going to cover?
This week I have a team we kind of frequent this team. Me and you on the stream of going back and forth picking them and saying they're better than they actually are. I'm on the Saints plus 4.5 against the Bucks. I know you just faded the Bucks on Monday night against the Lions. They're still a little bit decimated. I don't believe Bucky Irving looks like he's not returning anytime soon. Mike Evans is obviously out with the broken collarbone now. Chris Godwin's still not playing. Ibuka, he's got the hamstring injury. I think he's going to play this week. We'll see how impactful it is. But same thing. I think it's a spot where the lines should be more closer to a field goal. And it looks like it on profit and no vig, it's sitting at it's sitting at 3.5. So I'm going to take a stab and take them at 4.5. I think it opened 6 and it's steamed down a little bit too. So I'm gonna ride with that and take the Saints to cover here against the Buccaneers.
It seems like we're Saints stream. Unfortunately, they couldn't pull the cover last week, but I hope they pull the cover for you. This is probably going to be so stupid, but and probably just such a trendy pick, which I absolutely hate. But my underdog of the week, give me the Pittsburgh Steelers +3 at home on Sunday Night Football versus Aaron Rodgers' old team in the Green Bay Packers. After a very disappointing and ugly loss as a 6-point favorite on Thursday Night Football last week against the Bengals, I'd like to think the Steelers bounce back here. I know Aaron Rodgers has just gone on record saying this is not any sort of revenge game, but who are we kidding? This guy is an egomaniac, and he's going to want to beat the crap out of the team he played 18 seasons for. This is purely a spot play for me, as I'm willing to take Rodgers and Tomlin as a dog at home, getting a field goal. So Pittsburgh has been stewing on this loss for 10 days, so I do expect a good showing out of them. Rah Mike as a home dog is 22-7 against the spread. Couple that with the fact it's a Rodgers revenge spot. I think he's going to go scorched earth a little and want to stick it to his old friends in Green Bay. So give me the Steelers +3.
I like it. I don't think the Packers have been as good as advertised recently either. Granted, I don't think the Steelers are as good as their record shows, but neither team has been ridiculously impressive. And it seems like Rodgers is a little petty. So I would like to think too that he's gonna come out fired up for this one and be slinging it all over the place. I watched the Steelers fully for the first time last week when they played the Bengals on the Thursday Night Football game, and I couldn't believe that they just roll out like 4 tight ends and don't really have any receivers besides DK. It's an outrageous thing that they got going.
It's remarkable, but I can almost guarantee you that Allen Lazard will be a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers within the next 10 days.
Hopefully.
I mean, the Jets aren't getting anything for that. They'll get like a 6th-round pick, if anything, a conditional 6.
Even if they just get rid of him being on the roster, that's getting something.
Getting rid of Allen Lazard is addition by subtraction.
Yes.
Me and you are going to be Me and you are going to be suiting up at wide receiver for the Jets pretty soon. What's your best bet of the week?
I'm actually going to go to the game tonight. I took Kimani Vidal over 56.5 rushing yards. Let's see if it's moved at all since I've taken it, but I think you can still get him at 56.5. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Yeah, 56.5. Some places 57.5 on DraftKings, 58.5 on FanDuel right now. Like you said, they're gonna Brian Flores is a good D coordinator. He's gonna be all over blitzing Herbert. I think they're gonna have to establish the run a little bit tonight if they want to win this game. And Haskins, I don't believe, is playing, so that pretty much leaves a lone backfield for Vidal. And I think he goes over his prop tonight.
I don't mind it. My fantasy team could use it. Maybe punch it in for 6 too, but hopefully just win by 3.5, win by 3 or less. How about that if you're the Chargers? Okay. I don't know what the odds are yet for my best bet. So give me 1 second because just 1 second.
You're fine. I'm also fading Gadsden tonight too. I don't know how I feel about it, but the lines, his receiving lines at 44.5 on DraftKings. It's pretty much 42.5 everywhere else. So I took a bite on his big game not translating again this week.
He is really I'm just letting you know.
No, I know. But I don't know. I put in a bid for him in fantasy. I've had a lot of conversations about it. I was on him to break out a little while ago, and it didn't happen in the game that I thought, but I just think they have a lot of mouths to feed in that offense. And if we're saying that they're going to be after Herbert all night, if it's he came off a game where he threw for 425 yards, right? So everyone was going, not everyone, but a couple guys had to have 100 yards in that one. But you still have Keenan Allen, um, Ladd, and Quentin Johnson. I don't feel like they're going to just not get targeted anymore. I think it's going to kind of even out where, one of them gets 100 yards and the rest get somewhere between the 30 and 50 mark on a weekly basis. And I'm betting this week that it's not Gadsden.
Okay. Syracuse Orange's very own Oronde. Is it Oronde? That's how you pronounce it, right?
I believe so. I can't give you that with full confidence though.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm still trying to find odds here. I just want to find the best number so I don't lead anyone astray. Okay, this is going to be the best number. For my best bet of the week, give me George Kittle anytime touchdown plus 200 at BetMGM. It's National Tight End Day on Sunday, baby, and we're betting the founder of the day to score a touchdown. I'm not overthinking this one. Give me George Kittle and the Funky Bunch to score a touchdown. That's it. That's my reasoning. Simple as that.
He's also coming off a 0-catch game too, so they got to get him involved.
He's coming off a 0-catch game. It's National Tight End Day. He called out his coach jokingly in a press conference, telling reporters to ask him why he didn't get any touches. Give me Georgie boy to score a touchdown. Find pay dirt on Sunday against the Texans. Plus 200, 2-1 odds. There you go.
I like Juicy. I haven't actually looked at the touchdown score market yet, but it's definitely one that I would be interested in too. He's back. He's back and healthy now, and came off a 0-catch game. They're definitely going to look to with their whole receiver room banged up. They're definitely going to look to get him back involved and not give CMC maybe cut his touches from 50 to like 48 and throw a couple to to Kittle.
The amount of touches he has is insane. Let's quickly just look total.
It's more remarkable that he's still healthy after the workload that he's been given too. It's good. I love seeing him out there, but it's just crazy.
Yes, but it's very unsustainable, which stinks. But he has 186 touches through 7 games, which is crazy. That's 26.5 touches a game. So that's a lot of that's a big workload for a CMC. But I'm sure his smoking hot wife keeps him young, so it's okay. Anyways, what else you got? Anything else?
I have like a little bonus one prop that I put in. I don't know if it's still available for the Saints game too. On top of it, I took Spencer Rattler over 3.5 rushing attempts. So that's just a little bit more of a niche one, but I took it like minus 130. Let's see if I can grab it now. But that's another one I like that I'm on for this weekend, and I know props are still starting to come out and moving, so I'll definitely be looking at some more tomorrow. But that's the last one I got for the stream today.
All righty. Well, that's all I got for everyone. That's Ryan. I'm Casey. Get yourself a ProfitDuel subscription right now before we start to release our tools and the price of the brick goes back up. Trust us. We got a lot of great stuff coming down the pipeline. But that's Ryan. I'm Casey. We'll see you all next week.